Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Closing Comments here for May 21st. Let's jump right into our charts and see what happened in the market today. First up, we got our August live cattle on the board. We did see a big red day here across this cattle market. Both live and feeder prices losing some ground and testing some key levels here today. This August live contract did open up off that opening range today, and just selling pressure coming in right off that opening range. Pressure pushing all the way down there towards 240 late today. Did briefly undercut it before closing the day at 240.15. Distribution day here, lower high over the last 4 days, showing that this market might need to test lower here in the near term. If the bulls are able to come in and defend this 240 line and get a push back up inside of today's range, that could set them up for to keep this thing range bound here in the near term. But this was definitely some serious weakness we saw here today, and I wouldn't be surprised to see some selling pressure continue into Friday's session. Each side is going to want to fight back and close this week out on a strong note, but so look for this 240 line to be a battleground here as we head into Friday's session. Bears are going to try and attack this line early tomorrow. Look for early breakdowns below 240 and today's low at 238.75 to really get that selling pressure rolling. If this thing does continue with some quick downside tomorrow, I encourage everyone to raise cash and get defensive here, as we could see some short-term selling pressure. This market could just see a little bit more volatility in the near term. Going to have to wait and see how the bulls respond here in the days to come and into next week. But so far here, looking like these bears are going to try and take this thing lower into the weekend. Protect yourselves here around 240. Play defense, raise some cash here if we get some continued downside. We don't want to be going into the weekend here holding this thing down below 240. So look for some downside to continue into tomorrow's session. Live to fight another day, and we'll come back next week, see what this market has to offer. Next up, we got our August feeders on the board. Big selling day here in this feeder market as well. Price losing all of yesterday's upside, getting a close down there at 356.52. The sellers probably would have attacked this line more, but they're stopped by that 9.25 limit here today. Finishing the day limit down on some increasing selling pressure. Distribution day here in this feeder market as well. After being range bound here for the last about 6-8 weeks, this market does have a lot of buyers here left, holding the bag right around 356. So look for continued offers down here below this level to get that selling pressure to increase. Anyone who's holding this thing might be starting to feel the pressure and throwing the towel here below 356. Could get that selling pressure to really increase tomorrow. Breakdowns below 356 there should get the ball rolling lower. We're going to come down here and test 350 in a hurry. This little pocket of buyers here that started this breakout back in late March is going to be the first stop for those bears to try and pick up some more inventory. But be cautious down here. We should see this market with some volatility here if we get those early offers below this level tomorrow. Now is the time to probably start getting a little bit defensive here, raising cash if we continue with some follow through to the downside here tomorrow. Don't want to be taking this thing into the weekend, holding down here below 356. So be cautious, be defensive here. Might be a good time to start raising cash if we get some continued follow through below 356 tomorrow. Sellers are going to try and attack this thing and take this thing lower into the weekend. Next up, July corn futures on the board. Continuing with some downside here today. Prices just kind of chopping up here in the middle of this range, but still losing a little bit of ground. This corn market just stays range bound here between 450 and 485. Not really expecting anything to change here in the near term. Look for this market to continue chopping up in some wide daily ranges. Next up, crude oil prices also bouncing around here today in the middle of this range, bouncing on either side of $100 here as we try and digest all this volatility. Prices tightening up a little bit, kind of coming to a point here, but this thing is just kind of diddling in the middle. No reason to be messing around here in the middle of this range. Look for either extreme of this range to make some plays here. But in the meantime, this crude oil market isn't one with much opportunity here at the moment. We expect to see this choppy action continue. Next up, our equity index is seeing some good upside here today. Prices continuing with that dip buying here from the last couple days. This market rallying back here above 74.75 briefly today before finishing the day right around 74.67. Good upside here, good support early today. Nice strong push up there. We do have this uptrend back on track here at the moment. So far, everything's looking up. This dip was bought, and we should see this market continue to attack those all-time highs. The Dow is not far off from testing that all-time high that we put in back here in February, and the NASDAQ and the S&P should be right back up there in a hurry. So this market remains resilient, very strong, lots of good places to be putting money to work out there. Look for the upside to continue here into the weekend. That's all I got for this week. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We do have the long weekend with Memorial Day here on Monday, so we will be catching up with you guys next Tuesday for closing comments. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in this week. Catch you guys this weekend.